Alright, here we go. A review of Week 10, what went on with the Turf Frogs and throughout the league. Okay, Week 10 starters for the Turf Frogs weren't too good for us this past week. We didn't get but 26 points. Finished like 6th place. Not too good for us. We started Brett Favre. He got us 4. Not too good. We should have started Aaron Rodgers. He got 9, but Brett Favre was playing Detroit. We figured we'd get something out of Brett Favre playing against Detroit, but evidently Detroit don't give up what I thought they might. So didn't do what we needed to right there. Started Matt Forte. Probably didn't have a whole lot of other choices to start, but Matt Forte got 2 points out of him. He had a lot of yards. Didn't cross the goal line though. And that's about what his usual here lately. Big disappointment this week. All the way around for Michael Turner. He started off first quarter. I think he had 119 rushing yards. Excellent. Atlanta was driving the ball near the goal line, and actually Michael Turner was, and twisted his ankle, got a high ankle sprain, and he was out for the rest of the game. So we ended up getting 1 point out of him, and things don't look too good for him starting in Week 11 for the Turf Frogs either. So I think our one of our #1 draft picks there is going to be benched. That's what it looks like, Week 11. Started Fitzgerald. He scored for us. It's 2 weeks in a row he scored, and he's doing what he needs to, and pretty solid. We've started Santonio Holmes. Didn't have a whole lot of choices, I don't think. We had some people on bye, and they were playing Cincinnati, Pittsburgh was, and Santonio Holmes ain't scored since like Week 2. And I hadn't been starting him, but I had to start him, and may have to start him again next week. I'm not sure. We're going to have to take a look at that. I started Pazinko, nothing. Right along with Brett Favre, didn't do a whole lot. I think Adrian Peterson was eating up all the points last week. So we didn't get a whole lot of our Minnesota guys this week. Started Matt Stover, not a whole lot there either. Indianapolis was playing New England. Thought New England may hold them to field goals. Ended up being a very weird game there. But didn't get but 5 out of Stover, so not too good there. Saints. Started New Orleans Saints defense. They come through with us for us again. Got 8 out of them. They score a touchdown every week, it seems like. I hope they keep that up, because we need all we can get. So we ended up with 26 points. Our potential was 50. Efficiency rating of 52%. The things we missed out on was Aaron Rodgers, of course, and Brandon Marshall. Started Holmes, like I said, and didn't start Brandon Marshall because they were playing the Skins, and not just because I'm a Skin fan, you see, but Skins were ranked #1 in pass defense, and they're pretty strong, I was thinking, but Brandon Marshall peed all over them. I would have never thought that, but I missed out on those 13 points from him. So that's about the way it went with the Turf Frogs that last week, week 10. Hope we do better in Week 11. Survivor pool keeps rolling. Grizzlers and the Cage Rattlers neck and neck down the stretch. Week 10, the Grizzlers had Miami, and they came very close. I think they ended up kicking a field goal right at the end of the game to win that for the Grizzlers. Cage Rattlers had a pretty easy time. They had Minnesota picked, and they pretty much walked all over Detroit. But going into Week 11, 2 teams. I think that could be a record. I'm not sure what the individual record was. I think Seems like the Grizzlies have won it just about every year. It may seem like you got to week 12 one time, but I don't think we've ever had two teams go this far. Good luck to both of those guys. Transactions. Wow. Boy, we've had some transactions this year. I already got 4 in this week, from 3 from the Cyclops, Cage Rattlers. Well, actually, I think we got 7 in. I think I did 3. And they're just racking up. I think, if I'm not mistaken, give or take a few, we have 55 transactions total. That's about 165 in the kitty. We'll be eating steak next year's draft. On the grill, baby. Top 10 starters for week 10 were Chris Johnson for the Grizzlies, of course. Randy Moss for the Grizzlies, of course. Chris Johnson had 15. Randy Moss had 14. Peyton Manning for the Eclipse with 13 points. Concrete Cowboys with our kicker, Dan Carpenter, with 13 points. Cage Rattlers with the Baltimore Ravens with 13 points. The Grizzlies once again with Reggie Wayne with 13 points. Adrian Peterson for the Grizzlies once again with 13 points. Cage Rattlers, Reggie Bush with 12. And the Slabtown Slayers with Steve Smith with 12. That wraps up the top 10. You heard the Grizzlies name in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 10 in double digits. Strong week for the Grizzlies. Got to give it to him. 74 points. He had a potential of 78. Came very close to scaring the all-time record he could have. I mean, the way he was scoring. But yeah, you know, Concrete Cowboys hold that record at 81. That's a record that stood a long time. 81 points. I thought the Grizzlies were on their way to getting it this past week, week 10, but fell a little short. It's amazing that that record has stood that long, even though the scoring rules have changed for us a little bit, actually to the better as far as scoring. But the Concrete Cowboys still holding on to that record of 81. If Grizzlies didn't get it this past week, I don't know if it's going to be touched. Starting lineup this week for the Turf Frogs. It's going Aaron Rodgers against the 49ers. Got to stick with Aaron Rodgers. He's the man. Made a mistake getting started last week. I'm starting Ryan Moats against the Tennessee Titans. I ain't got a whole lot of choice. Turn around. I need some kind of running back help. So Moats, I'm starting him. Starting Bernard Scott this week. First chance I've even had to start him. Because Cedric Benson is hurt for the Cincinnati Bengals. So Bernard is a rookie for them. Hopefully I get to start him this week. It kind of fell at a good time since Turner got hurt and Benson got hurt. So maybe I can start Bernard Scott, and they're playing the Raiders. So I should have a good day if I can get a start out of him. And Larry Johnson won't screw things up that they just picked up. Larry Fitzgerald against the Rams. That should be mega points, I hope, this week. I'm starting Keem Nicks. He's due, gracious. I think he scored like 4 weeks in a row, and then I started starting him, and he ain't done flip since. So I'm hoping to get something out of him this week against Atlanta. Right now I got in Fashinko against the Seahawks. Todd Yoder. I want to start Todd Yoder. So bad against the Cowboys that I hurt, just because the game's going to be televised. I'm going to be watching it. I'm going to be pulling for the Skins this week. Go Skins! Go Skins! Cowboys, we're going to take them down. So I just may pull Fashinko and put in old Yoder in.
Skins. Redskins beat Dallas. Redskins
Matt Stover, starting him. Indianapolis playing the Baltimore Ravens. If anybody can hold Indianapolis to field goals, to be sure the Ravens can. And of course the Saints. They're playing at the Buccaneers, but they should continue with their touchdown streak, I hope.